What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another album of the month, this time for October 2023, and I'm so excited to be talking to you about Dylan LeBlanc and his fifth studio album, Coyote, which is just a masterpiece from start to finish. I'm just going to go ahead and say this is probably going to be my album of the year, let alone album of the month. It is that good. And for those who don't know Dylan LeBlanc, you should know him by now, especially since I've talked about two of his other albums at this point, 2016's Cautionary Tale and 2019's Renegade, both also fantastic records, but this, I feel like he's taken it to another level in every aspect, from the songwriting to, musically, which he produced this album himself. Already just a major achievement. It was recorded at Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals, which, the history behind that place, just amazing. And yeah, the sound on this thing is just timeless, from the acoustic guitar to the lush strings throughout the record, which are so tasteful and so well performed. I just love from the opening track, Coyote, the title track, it just feels very cinematic and very kind of late night driving down a desert highway kind of vibe that permeates throughout the whole record, but especially on that opening track, which starts telling this kind of loose concept story about a kind of like a drug smuggler on the run from the law. His name is Coyote. And definitely one of the best tracks on the album. And don't be surprised if you don't hear it in a film or a TV soundtrack in the near future. Also, songs like Dark Waters that kind of creep up on you have that same kind of just widescreen panoramic vibe to them. And what's great about it is the concept story isn't very specific, so it's more thematic. So it feels like it could be a little bit of everything. And what's great about that too is it feels like Dylan in his songwriting is able to kind of hide behind this main character and sometimes let his human emotions through, sometimes maybe overlapping with the story, like on songs, the second track, Closing In, which has a line that says something, I think this is the line, but the alcohol and Vicodin can't stop the walls from closing in. And it's like, oh man, that is some powerful songwriting. And knowing Dylan, I've had the chance to interview him as well. And, he's had struggles with alcohol in the past. So, those kind of things that he can relate to, and probably many others can relate to. And it doesn't have to be that vice necessarily. You feel that human emotion and the weight of it and the walls closing in. Just a brilliant track. I mean, there's really not a weak track on the album. Dust is another highlight. Some beautiful ballads like Forgotten Things and Stranger Things. There's some interesting reflections on song titles on the album. Again, later, like Wicked Kind and Humankind. But my favorite track, if I have to pick a favorite, is toward the end of the album, The Crowd Goes Wild. This song, man, if I had to compare it to anything, it's definitely got some Bee Gees vibes, some funky grooves going on, with those strings kind of like really playing the kind of disco track that you would hear back in the day. And it's brilliant, man, because the lyrics are so biting and about society and the way that the crowd keeps going wild, even though we're being fed all this terrible stuff through the media, violence and all these things, but we're wanting more and more of it. Just an amazingly written song, but also makes you want to put your teeth out and groove along like, if you know what I'm talking about. But man, I'm telling you, like the comparisons on this record, I can only make our two artists of that golden era of the 70s. You can definitely hear some Eagles vibes here. You can hear some Fleetwood Mac here and there. Even Linda Ronstadt, which it might seem like a weird comparison, but Dylan LeBlanc has this very high tone and just a beautiful vibrato to his vocal, which you don't hear a lot nowadays, especially in the Americana genre, if you had to box this in. But I feel like you can't really box this in. This is like Dylan LeBlanc's best record to date. And Another artist that he seems to channel here and there when he lets rip on guitar is Neil Young on songs like Hate, when you just feel like he's got to let that rage out a little bit at the end of the song. Brilliant guitar playing. And then throughout the rest of the album, which Dylan's playing most of the guitar here, whether it's rhythm or lead, it's just very tasteful, serving the song, never overplaying. And that's how it feels throughout with the strings as well, just always very tasteful and just perfectly suiting these songs that just all flow naturally into each other. There's not a weak track on here. At 13 tracks, I think it's just kind of perfect. A little over 50 minutes, but never overstays its welcome and always wants you to come back for more. Yeah, guys, I love this thing. This feels low, but I think I'm going to rate this a very strong 8 out of 10. And if I had to pick my two favorites, it's going to be The Crowd Goes Wild and the title track, Coyote. But as I said, there's just no filler here whatsoever. Dylan LeBlanc has made the album of his career up till this point, and can't wait to see where he continues to grow from here. But he's one of those artists, man, that somehow I think is still underrated at this point. But man, I can't wait to see where he goes next. But in the meantime, I'm going to be enjoying Coyote for quite a while. Let me know in the comments below what you think. What are your favorite tracks? If you haven't heard it yet, please go out and do so immediately. But if you have, let me know what you think in the comments. And guys, we got top fives every Friday, more album reviews, and so much more. Thank you for watching. And as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.